always national pride on the line. In a testing phase for Dudamel and for Lionel Scaloni, the interim boss of this Argentina side, although he has been handed the reins and looking to try and make something of it. Gabi Mercado, late addition to the starting lineup. As you take a look at a team that is loaded with young, promising talent. Here's the way Argentina will come out. Scaloni going with three in the back. Gonzalo Montiel outside of Mercado. Tagliafico outside of Lisandro Martinez, the youngster from Defensa. And then Lautaro Martinez, the 21-year-old with Inter, at the point of the spear with Lionel Messi, and Atlanta's Pity Martinez looking to...
Argentina in second place, and it's because of that defense that they are setting up with as much as anything else. So a new start for him, and a debut granted from Scaloni for young Lisandro Martinez.
And out of the same pipeline that brought Lionel Messi to the world, Newell's from Rosario. Oh, little slip
beautiful
forward. Sliding in is Pity, but he can't get the pass through. Double team, tries to win it
one of
back.
those situations where the ball is absolutely pinged into Lionel. The man right on top of him was Herrera, and just rides him like a bucking bronco. Turns another challenger, and he squirts a beautiful little ball through. Good on the right feet. This won't be an easy game for Argentina, in my opinion, Phil. I think this Venezuela side have been showing some good stuff with back-to-back draws against the dangerous Japan and a lively Iran. So Dudamel has got his team on a good uptick in giving the citizens of Venezuela something to smile about. There hasn't been much of late, of course. Nice turn, ball.
Messi dishing it off to Pity. Thought there'd be a check back from Lautaro Martinez, but no.
Yeah, it's a bad ball for me by Pity Martinez, who hasn't exactly been radiant for Atlanta United. The ex-River man has arrived and still finding his way through. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. He's a quality player, no question about it, 25-year-old. But taking his time to find his wheels in Major League Soccer.
As admitted, it has been a little more difficult transition than he imagined coming from the defending Copa Libertadores champion River Plate. One of his former teammates, Gonzalo Montiel, also making his debut today.
Yep, nicely.
Nicely.
And again.
Help in support, bypassing Hernandez, sweeps it across, a swing and a miss, maybe a second chance as it's poked away from Machis.
Venezuela looking nice. Yangel Herrera, the 21-year-old from Huesca, playing his football in Spain, and that was wonderful.
A lot of NYC fans familiar making the move. All the way back. Hernandez pushing it forward. Again, Machis. Strong step in by Herrera.
Yep. Been good on the ball. Nice challenge there by young Yangel again.
Of course, Man City product, loaned out to New York City.
You see that on that far side, Roberto Rosal is always one of my favourite players in Spain. The Espanyol man. He's one of the seasoned campaigners now. 70-odd caps, and he's wearing an awful mask.
We saw him for Espanyol this past week. Took a bit of a hit, and now precautionary. Lautaro Martinez guided to the turf.
Another good youngster. Internazionale man. Started at Racing, and he's going to be the point of the spear here for Scaloni. Arturo. Venezuela finished second bottom in the South American World Cup qualifying. Went through losing 10 of their 18 games, Phil, but we did games in those South American World Cup qualifiers, and his team, then they showed up some real nice football at times, and I thought they were a little unfortunate in a number of those games, and he's still campaigning here as a masked man.
Rosales, 70 caps, normally a right back, but over on the left to make room for the youngster Hernandez.
What a ball!
Rondon, mercy, and rifles a dart into the Argentina net.
Magisterial from Rosales, and the man that plays his football at Newcastle United, St James's Park, rifles it home. Big Salomon Rondon. I told you this would be a game for Argentina to beware, and so it's proved. But look at this ball. This is mutant fly's eye vision from Roberto Rosales. He stings this one over distance. It is one of the balls that Messi would play. Little ding ball. Look at this. The man with the mask on. Whoa, he's very close to being offside, but I think he's dead level. Rondon settles it with his right foot and catapults it. Waits, doesn't rush it. Jory Genius with a megaphone. Rondon. Fantastic from the Vinotinto. Nothing capricious about it. Nothing lucky in. Yep. That's a kiss back home to Tyneside, where he is beloved, Phil. He's a big player with a big heart and big skill. Never going to be considered one of the greatest of all time, but we remember seeing him in Malaga. He was always a box of toys and a real handful. Dream start for Venezuela.
Still just 29. So maybe some time and learning a few things Tyneside. That does move him into second place in the all-time Vinotinto scoring chart, tied with Giancarlo Maldonado and just one goal behind the legendary Juan Arango.
The goal, the dispatch, was top class. It wasn't rushed. He settled it, and then he waited for it to come down to the sweetest point before catapulting it back. But the ball from Rosales, please. Magnificent. Started at Caracas, Roberto Rosales. I had the pleasure of meeting him when I went to see Barcelona in the derby against Espanyol, and a nicer lad you couldn't meet. Beaming smile, a wonderful personality, and a good footballer.
Seems to be coming into his own at Newcastle.
Yeah.
Ball across. It is three in the back. It is a bit of an adjustment. And you saw Juan Foyt, the youngster from Spurs, just shaking his head. They got caught. Now how do they respond? In some ways, that's what friendlies are for.
Well, the truth of it is, Phil, again, the genesis of the past, the goal was that staggering ball of millimetre accuracy, split millimetre accuracy, and it would have caught any defence out because of the perfection of the pass. Nice style, a little touch pass from Petey. Tough angle for Leo to get it past this lad. We've seen him play some amazing games. Wulka, big Wulka, 21-year-old goalkeeper, Millonarios, and this is his 12th cap, I believe.
Just 6 feet tall, but just like another goalkeeper that used to rule the roost in Madrid, it's what you do with it. I'm really surprised he went to Millonarios. I thought a lot of European clubs might be knocking, but he's doing quite well in Colombia and will be tested here. 10th minute. Messi will take it. Deflected to safety. Trying to hold on. Little glance Off Rondon, goes far side. Rosales checking his rear view, nothing there. A left-footed long ball.
That great ball.
Flying in is Murillo.
Squares
up
on.
in the middle, the back heel. And a fortunate bounce off of
the square
Argentine
ball was
defender.
on for Salomon Rondon for another one-on-one with Armani, and they went away from it again. A stupendously magnificent ball from Rosales on that left side.
Never really seen him use his left foot, but he's got one. And Montiel may be better lucky than good in the right place at the right time to deny a second.
To see this one again, it's Rondon. It's looking like a big hungry hawk looking for his dinner on that far side, unmarked as well. There's three at the back for Argentina, not going according to plan. A long distance direct pass has been very penetrating. Rondon comes short and he'll hit that hole. That's another good ball.
Almost, but Foyt escorts it out. Flying in was Machis again.
Little Darwin dictating that lovely ball over that distance. Take a look. Here's the goal. He waits. He doesn't rush. If he stabs it, look at the technique from Rosales, balletic, and then Nuriev's waiting for it at the other end. Leo picking up his team, either that or applauding that ball from Rosales, I think.
31 years of age, one of the senior members of this Argentina squad. Only Armani and Mercado are older on the field right now.
And sometimes you look at the pass and you think, yeah, it was a good ball, it was a great ball. But then you look at his technique of striking through it and taking it all into account, the weight, the distance, the run from Rondon, everything in a blink of an eye. And his style, when we look at it again at half-time, is wonderful.
Off to the near side, and the Ajax sensation Nico Tagliafico, who might be playing in the stadium as a member of Atletico, if you believe some of the reports, next year. But Ajax with a little bit of work to do this season.
Well, they're looking good though, aren't they? And Tagliafico has been one of the reasons that that wonderfully vibrant, creative Netherlands team of the great Ajax has come to full bloom. And a lot of young players as well going to be playing in this stadium next year in the Barcelona colours, of course, with De Ligt and De Jong. De Jong, of course, already signed, but De Ligt is the one that is still being pursued by Barcelona.
Pushing forward, looking for a gap. Venezuela scrambling, but numbers back. Some whistles from the Argentine faithful. They want more.
Here's Piti.
Gets the cross in, but well settled by Rosales.
A little bit hit and hope there by Gonzalo Martinez. Good look at him.
Venezuela settling back. Almost daring Argentina to overcommit. Back in for Messi. Playing the playmaking role, now bursting into the middle. Piti on the overlap. Cutting back nicely was Lisandro Martinez. But an easy grab for Fariñez. .61 degrees, clear skies, not a hint of rain in the air.
Look, no breeze, Phil.
It's the stadium, Ray. Over on the far side, a foul argument from Lautaro Martinez, the ex-Racing youngster.
Player that's missing, of course, there's a number of them for Argentina. And one of the players that's playing really lights out lately has been Angel Di Maria, and sadly been forced to be pulled out with a muscular strain, the great PSG man.
should be ready come the summer.
No Kun Aguero. He wasn't called up.
No Gonzalo Higuain. Or Mauro Icardi, for that matter.
That's amazing, isn't it? You think about that undiluted talent. But this is what these games are for. Because Galani's got a fish on the hook here. And this Venezuela team have been impressive in defense as well, covering nicely.
Pity, reigning South American Player of the Year, leading River to glory, and then leaving River for Atlanta.
It's Racing that's on top of the Argentina League right now, and looking very good. And that great club seeing happier days. Oh, a good ball.
Sails wide, PT one touch to settle, the next to deliver. A hopeful ball that runs out.
That's one way to describe Leo shooting in the daggers.
Scaloni in the headlines himself a bit. The longtime manager Ricardo Lavolpe had a few things to say. None of them were complimentary. Not happy that he left him, called him a traitor. But when the national team comes calling, I think you got to answer. They've tried a lot of big names, a lot of experienced managers in the past, Ray, and nothing seems to work.
Yeah.
So why not try something different? Freud maybe getting away with a bit of a push. Celso to Lautaro, in from Messi. Rattles around and finally touched free by Villanueva. Hard challenge, but the ball bouncing the Vinotinto's way.
Well played.
Pulling it out of the fire, Ronald Hernandez. 21-year-old now in Norway with Stabæk. That one dangerous, and Armani forced to clear. Looked back over his head. And a collision from Moreno. The DC United midfielder whistled for the foul. Swept away. A couple of things to focus in on here today. Obviously, one was Lionel Messi's return for Argentina, but the other, the decision for Scaloni to go three in the back. Corner kick upcoming. Jose Sanchez, one of the best in La Liga, has his hands full here. Villanueva making that near post run to defend. Driven in, Farinez stays back and then volleyed out of danger.
I think it's one fight that comes very close to making contact on this. Not cleared at the front post by Venezuela. And the youngster playing his football in Spurs, very close to find it. Look out.
Ball in, just touched away. Martinez will track it down. Pity back to Lisandro Martinez, whose Defensa y Justicia are in second place, just 4 behind Racing. That may be an even bigger story than Chacho Cudet's Racing atop the table. Another foul against Argentina. This one against Paredes.
Well, we saw some experimenting in the United States national team there last night with a number of players playing in different positions. And Greg Berhalter taking good look. He'll always play in that position where he can create his magic. But here today, a different look for Argentina for sure. The three at the back and the support of Tagliafico and Montiel out wide is going to be really important if he's going to stick with this. They're the players here today. Good pace out wide, but I'll tell you what, as I said in the preview, Phil, this Venezuela side will be a tough team to break down. And the 2 draws that they've had against Japan and have been pretty impressive. Nice hold-up play again.
Maybe emphasis on the word hold. Not much there, but enough, said Sanchez. How, other than angles, numbers here or there, what's the biggest change going from 4 to 3 in the back?
Well, it's not just the 3 at the back, first of all. It affects the entire midfield, and especially the wide men. A big onus on them in transition and in covering. And it's the development of an understanding. Now, going with 3 at the back with a youngster like Juan Foyt, that's going to be a big test for him. And especially, you know, you're going to be relying on Mercado and Martinez on both sides of him, keeping them right. They've been caught out a little bit lackadaisical, Phil. I'm not so sure that having the 4 at the back would have altered that.
Looks like they've switched a bit. Mercado sliding in, as Foyt going more to the right, so maybe an adjustment already. Here's Lo Celso. The Betico on loan from PSG. And what a season he's been having in Spain. Piti knocked down. Messi sneaks it all the way through. Celso finds Messi. Maybe a bit of a tangle, but enough of a touch. Jordan Osorio. Speaking of great goalkeepers, Dudamel, one of the best, mired on a Venezuela squad that was not the quality of this one. Nice turn. Lautaro Martinez looking to get the shot away. Tangled up, and it finally trickles across.
It's Ronald Hernandez that comes to the rescue of Venezuela here. The Stabæk man comes and just does enough. Holding off, a lovely turn. And there, the challenge from Hernandez just does enough to put Lautaro off. And then it just skips away from him. He cannot rattle it home. Messi looking for the back heel.
Midway through this opening half, 6th minute goal. Beautiful long ball by Rosales into the path of Rondon, who did the rest. Venezuela surprisingly in front and looking to add, but the curl of that pass taking it back to Argentina. 9-month absence for Messi. Now, he may be in one of the best runs of his career, but the rest of this Argentina team not exactly used to playing with him, especially the youngsters. Rolled in, Piti deflected and fortunate.
Damn lucky. And that one is playing with fire.
Scaloni knew this was not going to be easy, saying they're on the rise. A direct team, but he knew they were going to be difficult.
Good run, it's a good ball.
They're sliding it in. Out comes Wilker. Still in play, and then finally cleared away by Rosales. Messi sneaks it in, gets it back from Lo Celso.
Ball.
Right into the path of Martinez, swings it across. Everything from Piti today has been service. He's not taking on the defense himself.
Not the best service in either. That one was one of his better services in it. Still was curling away from the intended target.
When we talked about target men up front, no Higuain, no Icardi, no Aguero either, who seems to have refound the fountain of youth. Celso sneaks it near side for Lisandro Martinez, who almost has it stripped. And Higuain, you kind of wonder. Rosales needs to readjust the mask after that collision. Villanueva letting it bounce and then shepherds it across.
Well, the bench is certainly stacked for Argentina. I'm sure there'll be big changes made as this game goes on. And interesting number 9 in Benedetto, who was really thought of by the Argentina fans in one of the big publications in Argentina, that it's big Benedetto that should be leading the line. He won in front of some more illustrious names, likes of Cunaguero and Icardi. The Boca man won the votes.
Well, just 2 goals in 14 games in league this year, but he has been playing well in Copa Libertadores.
Good skill.
If you listen to Scaloni as Lo Celso dribbles his way out of pressure, even Icardi not out of the equation. Well, just returning to practice at Inter. It's going to take a while to get back into game shape. Messi denied. Rincon with the steal.
That's a foul, surely. And he's lucky not to get a yellow card here.
The Sevilla defender well aware. The referee, Jose Sanchez.
Well, Big Salomon knows it's coming. Mercado getting his machete out of his jockstrap there. And it won't put off Salomon Rondon. A wonderful hold-up player. Soft feet, Phil. Always has. Always plays with his socks down around halfway with his shin. I like it.
You're a rebel, Ray.
Good ball.
Viti with a second touch, but forced wide. Osorio coming over and parries it away for a throw-in.
Good pace from Osorio, the Vitoria man in Portugal now. 24-year-old. Good pace. Joran to get there and cover up. He's had some nice touches, Pity Martinez, as well, Phil. See why he's so well thought of in the national team, but got to play sharpening its game up a little bit more.
Cardenas letting it run. Did he get the touch? Maybe.
Yep, he did.
Corner kick upcoming.
Good first-time ball, but no hard attack into the area by Lautaro.
This will swing in towards the Venezuela net. Rincon keeping an eye on Tagliafico. Driven all the way across, headed down but off target. Mercado could not guide it. Near midfield. As you can see, the only shot Venezuela has actually been able to get went in. Still the feeling out phase as we approach the half-hour mark. Rosales has been the most dangerous man, left foot or right foot. The wrong-sided fullback making a run down the line if they can find him.
Nicely.
Laid back, Rondon with the cannon from distance.
Again. Rosales it is, who's the first domino. Lovely little dagger ball. Rosales plays on the outside, and then lovely layoff for Big Salomon. Just gets underneath it a little bit. This back team, back three, Phil, being tested here. They played with a 4-back against Mexico. Previous game they won 2-0. Impressive. No Messi that day, but there was an Icardi.
Paredes back from Mercado. Messi shows. tight control, dances around 3 defenders and looking for more. Chip in, smashed header, carried up and over to safety.
Messi
for all
at his
intents and
best.
purposes, the equalizer.
Messi at his best again, rousing this entire stadium. His feet continue to dance. This is the end result of a diamond pass and that magnificent save. There's the one look, and the placement is perfection, and it's a dynamic header, diving header, and Varines says, I see you and I'll raise you, and pokes out an ace of a save. Millonarios man, magical there.
Messi from the corner. No one guarding the post, played short for Pitti. Messi drags through 2 defenders, up steps Rondon, left foot chip, and off the big 6'3" center back Villanueva.
It's like an electric light, isn't he? You just switch it in this illuminary football from the number 10.
Pushing forward and deflected off Montiel's cross. They'll get another corner out of it.
Take a look. Wonderful feet continue to dance. It's not a ball for Messi, it's a yo-yo.
Oh, in front. And Lo Celso unable to get a clean touch.
There's 5 trains waiting to punch the ticket at the station. The ball whisked in and it goes through a forest of players of blue and white shirts and Vinotinto shirts. Out harmlessly in the end, but certainly very close. And Murillo happy to see that one skip by, as is the boss.
Gonzalez rolls it back. Villanueva. Foul against Lisandro Martinez. Cut back and somehow sneaks through, but Rondon couldn't control. Mercado pokes it free, and Villanueva with the hard bump from behind.
It's a second warning, and the referee's had enough. The ball comes into Lionel. The touch is there. The separation between the ball, Messi, and Villanueva. Referee's opinion, falta. Not the most cynical challenge. She's trying to read the ball through the legs of Lionel. I think Leo just got the touch ahead of the challenge.
Also based in Spain, but down a division with Nastic on loan from Malaga. A big, bald center back.
I wouldn't be talking like that to him, Phil, to be honest with you. You better be careful, pal.
The aerodynamically designed center back.
Yeah, you like that.
About 12 minutes left to go in this opening half. The lone goal from Rondon. Dudamel with the suit, jeans and sneakers, and Escaloni in the tracksuit in front of the Argentine bench. Ball just falls for Villanueva, and the big man showing some Messi-like skill.
Great support here from the Venezuela crowd, coming in from all different parts of Europe to watch their country.
Messi drags the defense, dishes wide. Tagliafico. Back for Pitti, playing a little more central at the moment. Paredes, Tagliafico, but he thought the run would be coming. Argentina threatening, though. Chance now on the counter. Murillo with some space, slots it forward. Beautiful control, but out comes Armani to deny Machis.
Darwin is in like Flynn. A beautiful ball penetrating through. Again, the heart of Argentina's defense. Lovely run. He's dead on side. There's no question about that. And he wriggles free away. Wonderful save from the River Plate man. Spreads himself beautifully to deny Darwin. The Cadiz man almost always already celebrating as he saw the goalkeeper advancing, but again, beautiful save by big Franco Armani.
Towards the spot, glanced down, volleyed by Villanueva. And his left foot did not miss by much. Shades of Godin for the Venezuelan center back. By the way, that is also something, not just the Argentines, but the Venezuelans. Scouts will be watching. So maybe some big moves, and for a player already based at Nastic, maybe a chance to move up a division. Offside. Trying to lay it back. Machis bursting into the 18. Foyt over in time. Pitti with a chance to lead the break. Gets rid of it in time. Messi slapped away, this time with the left hand.
Pitti goes away from the obvious advancing ball because he knows the captain is wide open with space and time, and this is where it leads to. It's a great effort. Doesn't quite get it far enough away from Farines, but it's admirable in its failure. But again, this man on top of his game, the 21-year-old, in between the sticks.
Pitti smashed by Rondon, and now maybe a chance with Argentina caught in the wake. Needed to get the ball away quicker. It's Messi on defense. Fun first half. Still 7 minutes to go. Out wide for Rosales. Machis, another fortunate bounce. Sneaks it into the middle. Herrera. Darwin holding off two. Wide for Hernandez. Take a close look at this Vinotinto side. Nothing official yet, but word is they will be one of the next opponents for the U.S. national team in the Queen City of Cincinnati, just prior to the Gold Cup in Copa America. So a warm-up for both. Nutmeg for Machis. Advantage played.
Pullbacks on.
Hernandez across, headed back, and somehow Rondon can't sneak it home.
Wonderful play again. Ronald Hernandez has got options here, and he goes for the man on the back post. But look at the options that he has as he skips a light fantastic here and sets up Hernandez, and there's a lovely lead. But the pullback was on the square ball. The pullback was on for Salomon, but he thinks he can squeeze it through. And again, the late arriving Murillo was wide open for both the server and then for the kiss back from Rondon, shredding Argentina's defense with brave play. Venezuela
4 straight without defeat coming in, and they lead approaching the half. Martinez, Califico. Messi's found a pocket if they can find him. Pokes it away, eluding Rincon, tries to drive it past Hernandez. Corner kick, Argentina. Argentina have lost just one of the past 16 meetings with Venezuela. They're in danger here. Celso, Messi, Rosales back on his natural right, and here they come again. Rondon, defense nipping at his heels, but he gets rid of the ball, but too early. To the races, Darwin Machis.
Lovely play by Salomon, but he's certainly stranded just a good yard offside. Again, Rondon, wonderful turn and pulled the trigger as quick as he could with his pass. Venezuela showing they're going past this Argentina press whenever it's presented, and they're doing it with expansive play and passing once they do get possession here again.
Rondon motoring, battling, gets it back, but a tackle at the last moment by Gabi Mercado saves the day. In a way, what also should be a mouth-watering treat. Of course, Argentina going to be in action against Morocco on Tuesday, but on Monday, it doesn't even really count as a friendly because it's against Catalonia. Ball in for Messi. Freezes the defense, chips it for Lautaro, heads it up and over. So close.
X-ray vision from Messi again, with a wonderful turn and the presentation of a glorious chance from Lautaro. Look at that ball. Amazing. And he's well covered as well by Villanueva. And if Villanueva is not right on top of him there, that's probably an easy header, but that's well covered and defended. The presence of Villanueva just putting off Lautaro, but what a ball by Lionel.
Down in a heap, John Murillo. Not sure if the referee saw it, but Rosales pleading the case. Foyt gets him.
Well, the argument is he's coming through the player to get to the ball, and he certainly seemed to, so you can understand the Venezuela reaction.
Rincon stepping up as the captain should. Rondon begging for it in the middle.
Great play again by Rosales.
Another foul. The captain earns this one. Quickly restarted.
Get it going. Again, squares on.
Murillo takes it himself. And a masterpiece to the back post.
Searing strike by this wonderful player, Jean Murillo. The Tondela man playing in football in Portugal. And somewhere Cristiano Ronaldo is smiling. This is a wonderful strike over distance, and he ignores the support. When we see it again, when Murillo picks it up, he's got a wonderful invade running square. The options for Venezuela are manifest. Again, Rosales, man, he says, let's rock and roll. Let's start this party. And there's a square ball from Murillo that's invading. He says, I see you, pal. I don't need you. Magisterial again from Venezuela. Look at this perler of a curler. Armani stretching out like a big jungle cat, but he can't get anywhere near it. This is perfection from the Tondela man, 23-year-old, and the world's his oyster here tonight. Number 2, Venezuela gets another big birthday cake for its sad, downtrodden people back home. There will be having hearts the size of pigs, and they will be bursting with pride on what Venezuela are doing to Argentina. Murillo again, rinse and repeat. 2-0 Venezuela. Vinotinto, truly vintage football at times.
Well, he thought the bad times were over. This one just an exhibition, but it's Venezuela exhibiting best. 2-0 at the half. See if we can get you up to date. Look like Blanco among those players that are out there, and Matias Suarez as well, and Walter Kahneman all checking in. See if we can figure out who came out. Kahneman coming in on the back line, the Gremio-based defender. Wonder if Matias Suarez coming in, the 30-year-old debutant. Well, he's coming in for the ex-River Plate man, Pity Martinez. And trying to figure out how to signal this on the signboards, but no apparent changes for Venezuela, but 3 of them. It looks like Kahneman coming in for Gabi Mercado as this second half is underway. 1 change on each line. The Albiceleste moving from left to right. Tomas Rincon, the captain, hit on the opening play of the second half and slow to get up. Leandro Paredes jogging away. Phil Shane alongside Ray Hudson, and looked like maybe a little bit of a lead with the shoulder there from Paredes, but when it came to players making a difference in the first half, it was the guys wearing red.
He certainly set the tempo and the early exchanges as well, but unquestionably they jumped out of the long grass and feasted, and it's a sad set of circumstances for Mercado, seeing that ball from Rosales already on its way. He must have had the wee queasy feeling inside his stomachs as soon as it launched its way towards Big Rondon. Mercado unable, but there was nothing they could do with that second goal. It was truly a golazo of the highest order, from nothing up and nothing lucky about it. Messi is inspired and tried to do as much as he damn well could, and a number of wonderful presentations. And Lautaro Martinez, the young 21-year-old from Internazionale, his headers were real good jackknifing headers, but just 2 degrees of separation, and Venezuela goalkeeper Farines was like all of his teammates just at the top of his game.
The restart, Messi the decoy, Rondon parries it. It'll go out for the corner kick. Announcing all of the changes. There's a good look at Wilker Farinez. 2 brilliant saves in the first half. Ball cleared by Rondon, guiding it to Rosales. And they're slotting in to play it back.
They've got this wonderful jackrabbit pace, Venezuela, in the shape of Marquis and Murillo. So even on a long distance clearance like that from Rosales, there's a big whack up the field. It can still create all sorts of concerns on that shaky back line of Argentina. You think of some of the great players that they've had in that back line over the years, and the additions of the Albiceleste, Phil, the likes of Passarella and Ayala, Walter Samuel.
Ball flicked on around Hernandez. Early pass in, but straight to DC's Junior Moreno, who tries to clear. Laid off, but straight to the path of the captain. Deflected on the clearance, and Villanueva throws his body in front. There's the brilliant goal scorer João Murillo. A Meg to help set up the clear, and a few applaudits from that far side. Montiel in for Paredes. Celso to Messi. Threads it forward, back from Mati Suarez, but he can't return the favor. A little slip. Suarez, a look away for Messi. Finds him on the through ball, in. The shot battles and bangs and finally cleared across for the corner.
Wonderful interplay here from Argentina. Suarez, Blanco and Messi beautifully involved. Again, dagger ball presented from Lionel. The pullback is really exceptional as well. Good covering again from the Vinotinto.
Messi looking on. He's been sharp today, but the rest of his team unable to stick his daggers in.
Yeah, you wonder, and nothing against the 21-year-old Lautaro Martinez. It's just his 5th cap. Racing man in his genesis, but you just wonder, Hedecardi being in that place, Kun Aguero, you know, these are players of massive order, but they ain't here. So Argentina going with promise, and certainly excellent players. It's a good start here in the second half as they look to pull this game back by 1 goal at a time, but big job for Scaloni with the pedigree of the horses in that stable of the Albiceleste, Phil. Experimenting here today and looking at 3 at the back. You would have thought coming into this game, even though I warned everyone, this won't be an easy team to beat. On their day, they can stand up and put on a hell of a gauntlet. And they've certainly done more than that today. But for Argentina, the mix and match, as you said, Phil, the continuing world-class managers of great reputation that have come in and tried to get the right shape and the right chemistry of Argentina. It's just always come up short.
Well, he and Pablo Aimar in charge of this team. Significant to say it's until June, before the Copa America. So losing against Venezuela 2-0 is not going to do anything for job security.
Yeah.
By the way, mentioned a pretty big game coming up. Obviously, Argentina with that showdown against Morocco on Tuesday, but the day before, Venezuela is going to stay in Spain and face Catalunya, Ray. And a few familiar faces, not just Boyan Kirkic, but coming out of retirement to wear the Catalan colors, Gerard Piqué and Xavi Hernandez.
Hey, chameleon eyes.
So, see what Venezuela can do then, but right now they still have this tiger by the tail. Inside comes Suarez, but loses possession rather easily. Rincon kicked from behind, draws the foul, and has a few words to say. Bounces out near the midfield stripe. Used to playing in Spain. 200 games with Deportivo.
Well played, only feet from Lo Celso there.
Tagliafico, Lo Celso. Back into the middle, Paredes. Venezuela quite content to let them play out in the midfield. Here comes Foyt. Back to the Spurs youngster.
Good ball.
Lo Celso.
So close. The great ball from Juan Foyt there. He saw his pass early and wonderful stinger to that left side, and that nearly opened up Venezuela. Very close.
Lo Celso in the book.
Not sure either. He got the ball shoulder to shoulder. I don't think there was anything too aggressive in the lean into John Murillo.
Hernandez sending it along. Rincon can't get it away from Foyt. Argentina now turns its attention upfield. Messi threading it. The return intercepted. Down goes Murillo again. This time Tagliafico.
And better movement by Argentina. His advancement there went out to Suarez, who was trying to feed it back to Leo. Nicely cut out again. Every time they've been required to defend, the real dangerous invention of Argentina, Venezuela have come up trumps. And often it's been just in the nick of time.
Dudamel, a few words for his veteran defender.
Yeah.
Showing a bit of offensive flair today. Joseph Martinez and his bleached locks in the background loosening up. Murillo still down. Murillo and Machis have provided a lot of danger for Venezuela going forward. Perfect foils for a big man like Rondon. Well, since he needed treatment, he will have to go off. Venezuela shorthanded for a moment. Pareñez putting it back into play. Now another foul. Rondon maybe clattering in a little too frequently. Mentioned his goal earlier, bringing him just one behind the legendary Juan Fernando Arango, the Venezuelan legend, and at 29 you figure that will fall maybe even tonight.
Well, he's been scoring some very important goals for his club as well to pull Newcastle United out of the relegation zone. Geordie crowd at St James's Park have really taken to Salomon Rondon, truly one of the real favourites of the black and whites. And it's predicated around his skill more than his effort.
Messi, Villanueva, Paredes. Poked away from Messi. Eluding his Foyt. The young center back leading the charge, but his pass just too far for Blanco. Now those changes at the half, they've taken out Lisandro Martinez and stuck in Blanco, his defensa teammate, but Domingo Blanco, an attacker. Kahneman coming in for Mercado. So that's pretty much a straight swap. Looks like they have kind of adjusted almost to a four-back. Although Tagliafico pinching back even more. Here comes Rondon wide on that left. Does it come off the arm? It does. Foul against Montiel. Free kick Venezuela. Right, Dudamel deserves a lot of credit for what we have seen, but you have to remember those that came before. Cesar Farias did well to put some defensive teeth into a promising young attack. Prior to that, it was the legendary Richard Paez who brought Venezuela out of the dark ages. And now Dudamel looking to show even more light. All the way across, knotted down by Villanueva, cleared.
Well, Dudamel as well has built on that success that Venezuela had with the under-20s, of course, when they got to the World Cup final and lost 1-0 to England.
Back in for Lautaro! And one touch, a perfect shot around Fariñez and into the corner.
Lautaro capitalizes on this, and again, it's the magic man that leads the way. Wonderful barreling run by Lionel, folding up the space in front of him with the dynamic run, and a lovely slip shot from the Internazionale man, Martinez. Leo controls again, wonderful touch, lovely little feathered ball out wide, and then this pass is led, and he's onside. There's some question about having it ran onto Blanco, but lovely little ball from Lo Celso presented, and the first time sort of chip kiss. Strange finish, but it doesn't matter. And you see the dynamic of the left foot, Phil. It's a little bit if he bounced that ball into the ground and sent it on a real chip into the Martinez, but 2-1 now.
And now the Argentine fans have woken up. Venezuela's knees might be knocking a bit. Argentina cutting the lead in half. Messi again. Drops it in perfectly. A touch to the middle, but two behind Martinez. Bump in the box. Montiel taken off. One right back. And this foul will be whistled against Lautaro Martinez.
Well, again, passive, pure enchantment from Lionel to set up that last chance. And have a look at the altercation here. Not much there.
Rincon getting the veterans call. Cut to the inside. Darwin Machis chipping it forward. Murillo
could have led him further, couldn't he?
With the touch. Now help on that right side.
Can overlap on behind you.
Into the 18. Contact. Get up, says the referee. Screaming his frustration. Darwin Machis.
Darwin. Let's see if he's a little Pinocchio, or if this was a legitimate penalty claim. Referee's right on top of it. He's got a clear look at it, Phil. He's only like 3-4 yards away from the infraction. But Machis is apoplectic about that call.
The turf monster grabbing hold of Blanco. And now Venezuela the other way. Machis, and he's got a bit of room. Foyt scrambling back. Early ball in, and a lunge by Kahneman maybe saves a third goal.
It's Tagliafico that's running down. Salomon Rondon. Let's take a look. Nothing there. From that angle.
Just a touch.
You'd have given it, wouldn't you, Phil? You'd make this a ballet contest.
Well, the days of VAR, everything's a penalty.
Thor would have looked at that one and shook it away.
18 minutes into the second half.
A little heavier on the touch. It might have had a stronger case.
Kahneman with his hands full with Rondon.
Yeah.
Of course, Kahneman, two-time Libertadores champion, once with San Lorenzo, and more recently with Gremio. Just his fourth cap, maybe a chance to lock down a position.
FIFA friendly, it says in the title here.
Out comes the waiting arms of Armani. Now running in front of Armani. It's going to be a yellow card. That counts as delay of game. And Jordan Osorio getting a little too airborne.
Being unable to take a replay. Look at that replay of that staggering ball from Messi that led to that, what would have been the equaliser.
There. The handball that leads to the yellow. Change as Huesca's Yangel Herrera, who got off to a brilliant start and faded a bit.
Yeah, the youngster really announced himself here today.
Ever since Soteldo, the 21-year-old.
Here's that wonderful ball from Lionel, and then a nice lead, and then this little stab through. The ball's a little bit behind him, so maybe it's just a bit of a swing at it, but he makes good contact and then bounces its way through.
And there, a look at the penalty call. Sanchez was right on top of it. Pressure from Venezuela.
Nice.
And Foyt just shrugs it off.
Yeah, every time there's a new angle, it alters your stance on what looked like a no call for sure. And on that last call from that last angle, it looked as if it was.
But Ray, you'd call everything a penalty. 2-1 Venezuela. Martinez, the lone goal of the second half. Soteldo out of Zamora, like Murillo, just making the move to Santos.
Far better response from Scaloni's men in this second half, despite the deficiency still on the score sheet. It's been brighter, and Argentina's been braver with the passes.
Diving header, still loose, no chance for Machis. Into the middle for Messi, but good cover Rincon. Spent some time at Juve before they loaned him cross town to Torino. Who liked the Venezuelan captain so much they bought him. Little Gattuso to his game. Machis in the middle. Soteldo is getting his first touch. Rosales. Soteldo. In for Rondon, who thought the run would be there. Snuck that one through Kahneman. Again, Rondon could not quite guide it to Machis out wide, and Argentina gets it back. Better be careful because Osorio already with a caution. As well as they've played, and even if it is a friendly, Venezuela can't afford to lose a man. Rincon. Tackle. Strong challenge, Paredes.
Magic.
Messi in the middle.
Brilliant.
Rolls it wide. Back in for Lautaro, and a lunge by Villanueva, but it wouldn't have counted.
No space, three men around him, and he still finds his target. But again, good covering from the impressive Mikel Villanueva.
Again, a Malaga product on loan at Nastic. Wouldn't be surprised to see him in La Liga next year. And Ray, even if this comeback attempt falls short, ball stolen by Lo Celso, Messi's in the middle if he can find him. Off for Lautaro. Bumped at the edge of the 18. Poked free, finding Messi. I think for Argentina fans, there's signs. There's something in this team that seems to have been lacking for the last few years. Although there's also experience missing. Burst of speed, Soteldo, the Santos swinger.
Doing well since he got in here, Kahneman. The Gremio man really tracking down a gazelle like a cheetah. A wonderful run. Again, nicely anticipated by that youngster. Down danger again on the break. Nice directness about them, isn't there? And they've got that jackrabbit pace. It's certainly threatening more and more, but Argentina seems to have adjusted themselves better in this second half. Really rattling on the latch of Thomas Rincon.
On the bench, Josef Martinez. Juan Piañor as well, another one of your favorites, plus some newcomers like Sergio Cordova.
Ball.
Meanwhile, Paulo Dybala and Dario Benedetto lurking on the Argentina bench. Argentina already 3 changes, just the one for Venezuela. Lo Celso draws the attention, dish to Messi. Far side Suarez.
Nicely.
In for Lo Celso, and he didn't catch it clean.
A little bit of a bobble, I think, as it comes onto him. Take a look again, see if this one just hits the divot. It's a bouncing ball, but still, should have done better than that.
Ray, would you agree? Is there that spark that might have been missing?
I don't know, Phil. I mean, this is a different lineup entirely, and they're missing some massive stars, Argentina. And their coach is just experimenting and seeing what the flavour is like with a lot of these young players. I don't know, man. I think this Argentina team, as disappointing as they were in the World Cup, they got beat by 1 goal of the team that went on to win it. And they've been to some of the mountaintops, the World Cup final, of course, against Germany. Coulda, shoulda, woulda went their way. The Copa America games.
Back to back.
There you go. I mean, it's a strange anomaly in many, many ways. And the best coaches in the world, some of them, have been unable to get the configuration right. And they've still been to the final of these tournaments so many times, and they still cannot grasp it.
Messi. Benedetto can't sneak it in. Cleared by Osorio. Rincon dropping to the back line. Benedetto on the touch. Only about 5'9", but he plays bigger. Wide for Montiel. Looking for the trailing run of Suarez off the hand, and Venezuela will take the breather. Benedetto making the jump from America to Boca after some time at Tijuana, and getting a start at Arsenal. Well, the Sarandí version. Josef Martinez. Well, this a different can of worms. Rondon, the bull in the china shop, and now Atlanta's crown jewel.
Here as he's set up and catches Ricardo out and locks his focus on it. It's appreciated by his boss Dudamel. Wonderful imprint as the Viper comes in, as Kevin Egan's wife Meg christened him for Atlanta United.
Nearly a goal a game for the Five Stripes. Just 9 for Venezuela, but much of his earlier career started out wide, as it was when he was at Torino before Atlanta had a revelation. Ball back for Osorio. 1 danger, 3 of the back 4 carrying cautions for Venezuela. Only Rosales does not. Osorio.
And as I was saying, Phil, the big question mark is Argentina getting over that line after being runners-up in 4 of the last 5 competitions in the World Cup in Copa America. I mean, that's a record most countries would be proud of, but they haven't been able to get the horse over the line, even though Messi has basically carried the horse every step of the way.
Awkward on Benedetto's touch, and as he panic sweeps it away, he sends it right to Murillo. 4v5 if they play their angles. Martinez wide. Rosales, again a natural right-footed player, but can't sneak that one. Another chance, Murillo. The captain, Rincon. Rosales pushing up to the front line. Cutting inside Soteldo, but he held on too long.
Well read there by Lo Celso.
Approaching the final 15 minutes. I think a lot of Argentina fans may be a bit disappointed that the game is still this tight, regardless of who's leading. I don't think Scaloni minds that much. Trying to test a lot of these younger players and newcomers.
Yeah, it's the only way to find out what you got.
Suarez dispossessed. In for DC's Moreno.
Excellent running off of the ball of this Venezuela side.
Back to Moreno, into Soteldo. The Santos finding Martinez, and this one will be a penalty as he rides the challenge of Foyt to the ground and earns the spot kick for Venezuela.
Darwin Marquez that deserves all the credit here as this ball's fed in for Martinez. The Cadiz man is wonderful in identifying the danger man, and he plays it in quick and sharp. And Martinez just checks his run. There's the ball, a little tickle past it, and take a look again. There's a clear foul. Protesting his innocence, but that's a foul.
That's the angle.
One fight. The ex-Estudiantes man comes across and tries to wrap up the Viper, who's going to step up and see if he can sink his fangs further in to Argentina.
Well, Foyt, as good as he has looked at times, has been responsible for the last goal and now setting up what could be a third. 9 goals in his Venezuela career. And Josef Martinez from 12 paces hops it home past Armani, and a little bit of Gucci on that goal.
It's a wonderful Vinotinto cherry on the top as sad fight looks on. Martinez puts it away, the Venezuela way, and sends another big kiss back to his country. Take a look at this. Hocus, hopping pocus for Joseph as he bounces this one in the most audacious way, but why not? That's one of a kind, all right, and strikes the gunslinger pose. It really does put the final touch to a wonderful performance from Venezuela. Argentina roared back in this second half and looked as if they had the wind in their sail, but it was taken out. The setup, I'm telling you, from Darwin Marquez was quick and sharp and slick. And again, another indicator of brave football and what it can get you. And not just the bravery of the questioning pass, but then the response.
I still see positives in this Argentina, but I guarantee you the headlines back in Buenos Aires will not be so forgiving. Slammed away by Osorio off the deflection. It'll be a throw in and another change upcoming. Well, Giovanni Lo Celso leaving, and Roberto Pereira will check in.
Just remember, this is a team we're watching in those wonderful colours of the country of Venezuela. It's never been to a World Cup. And they are taking a team that's been in the finals of 4 of the last 5 of the Copa Americas and World Cup. Get there. But this Venezuela side has got a lot to build on. And this was a wonderful statement from Rafael Dudamel. And can you honestly say they just caught Argentina napping? I'm not so sure that you can. You've got to give full credit to the energy that Venezuela poured into this game, the covering, the running off the ball, the wonderful goalkeeping between the sticks, the defence, young players as well, Phil. Villanueva, 25, the goalkeeper, 21. Osorio, 24. Look out.
Messi sees it poked away by Rosales.
Herrera, 21-year-old.
Murillo, 23.
Yep. Rondon's the old man with Rincon, 29-year-old.
Dybala loosening up.
Argentina have the class of the likes of La Joya, and on other days Di Maria and Kun Aguero, Cardi, on and on. But where's the Oscar Ruggieri? Where's the Mascherano or the Gabi Heinze in defence? They're the questions that are really going to be asking.
Maybe a little too much Passadella, the managerial version. Machis exits, Juanpi Añor will enter.
Oh.
More danger. And again, this is, at least in the historical concept, the worst team in South America. The only team never to qualify for a World Cup.
Yep.
And look at the talent they have.
How many times did we do games when Venezuela would play though, Phil? And you'd think, how the hell can this team...
Going back to the days of Paez, they've been fun to watch.
Always.
Martinez harassing Foyt again.
Talented footballers, led by a talented coach. And meanwhile, Scaloni will have a rough night of sleep before looking ahead to the next game. And some things he meddled with here today, and he's had some questions answered and been the negative ones. So once the big returning stars accent Argentina, there'll be the improvement come the Copa America, I'm sure. But the Orleans going around now as Venezuela look to grab even more.
Well, just to give you an idea, well, Argentina overwhelmingly owns the history books against Venezuela, foul against Villanueva. A bit more recently, things have tightened up. The most recent win for Venezuela was in a World Cup qualifier back in 2011. But if you go back and include that, it's 2 wins for each nation and 2 draws. So Argentina and Venezuela draw level since 2011. Messi looking to change that, and there's still 10 minutes plus added time. And then one of the bright spots Messi has created, even if his new teammates have not been able to finish.
Well, that's the most dependable thing.
Messi himself. And Fariñas, did he get a touch?
No surprise with Messi's creativity and the setting of the table all throughout this game. It was off the hand and the goalkeeper's hand.
That's what it looked like, but the referee didn't see it.
Oh.
I mentioned Venezuela to take on Catalonia. Played the Basque country back in October. And that one, again, not an official friendly, so you have to go all the way back to September since their last loss, and that was by the barest of margins against their neighbors Colombia. And it took a 90th minute goal for Colombia to win that one. So maybe, just maybe, Dudamel showing that Venezuela is going to be a team to be reckoned with this summer in Brazil.
Well, they're in the same group, aren't they, with Brazil and Bolivia? Now they're in a tough group.
Quickly restarted.
I don't think they'll be fearing too much with this big confidence booster. Earned the right.
Unbeaten in 5. And this may be the crown jewel of the bunch. A couple of wins over Mexico for Argentina prior to this.
And the World Cup qualification was a total disaster, finishing at the bottom of that group, but they reached the quarterfinals of the Copa America in 2016, didn't they? So on their day, they can shake in the knockout competitions.
It was 2015, wasn't it? The real.
Yeah. Okay, it was around 15, 16.
Meanwhile, Argentina has not lost a game by more than a goal since Spain decked them 6-1 a year ago.
Well, Venezuela fans in full battle cry now, absolutely loving what their team have presented here tonight.
There is a lot of pride.
Yeah.
And a lot of pride that's been bruised in recent weeks. In for Foyt, speaking of bruised pride, the 21-year-old learning a few lessons the hard way, but he'll be back. Outside Suarez sneaks it in, loose and just outside the 6. No chance for Pereira. Good run by Joseph Martinez. Will it stay in play? It just trickles wide.
Oh, that sort of night for Argentina. Pereira just a cleat's length away from making contact. Might have been able to send it past Farines.
And there were other chances. You mentioned the header earlier from Lautaro Martinez. A few passes that were maybe a step behind.
Sure. There's a couple of great headers from Lautaro that was saved beautifully by Farines. In and there and around, and just not able to quell this good sharp passing movement of Venezuela throughout, especially when Rondon was in and Darwin Marquis. John Murillo, and these are players that are keeping out Joseph Martinez, so nice problems for Rafael Dudamel.
Ball comes away from Rosales. I think he thought Soteldo would be there. Back for Pereira. Things getting a bit static. Messi trying to shake things up.
He's linking up well with Suarez in Suarez's debut here, and he has shown up nicely. Look out.
The clearance right to Messi, but the header from Benedetto goes wide.
It's hard to say. Is he going for goal? Or is he going for the pass? Take a look. This ball gets fed back to Messi. Kept in, and there, that header, I think he's going for goal, isn't he?
I think you're right.
Had the good running Suarez. Showed up nicely. A river man.
And this has not been a fluke. Argentina battling for pride here. Messi fighting through the hold, pulled back, and a yellow card against Juanpi.
Yeah, Juanpi's seen Messi enough to know he's just about to pick the ace out of his hand with a lovely little ball out left, but Juanpi just putting Leo off on the pullback.
And you're still just 25 years of age now. With Huesca, remember seeing him come up through the Malaga system. Of course, his father a player, his brother used to play in MLS.
Through this pass, on this pull rather, and he's still trying to find it. Would have been leading on to advantage play had the ball found its target. But Leo refuses to go down as always, and the referee's whistle rightly blown. And what can this free kick bring? It'll take something special to beat the Millonarios kid.
Messi from about 40, and again it scrapes over. And again, Argentina screaming he touched it.
I think it's going to miss the target anyhow, but not by much. And I thought it certainly took a touch off the goalkeeper's hands, this'll tell you.
It did, second time. Well, it could be the final change. John Murillo will exit
Wow. Golazo, asso from Little John.
And even some of the Argentine fans applauding.
Well, it was a Messi-esque goal, and that means it doesn't get any better than that. Fabulous curler of a curler. Again, it was the wonderful dynamism of his technique, but he took basically 4 or 5 steps without ever lifting his head. He's already identified where it was going. Beautiful strike.
And coming in, the 19-year-old debutant who plays in Argentina for Gimnasia, Carlos Hurtado. Again, Venezuela is going to be fun to watch in looking to try and find Martinez, but deflected back. Pereira into traffic. Rosales a little too tricky for his own good. Final minute of regulation. And the foul as Saravia pulled down. It was Blanco make that. Messi from a distance, delicately smashed away Osorio. Foot race on that far side. Nice from the youngster Hurtado.
Well, Venezuela in Group A in the Copa America fell up against Brazil and Bolivia and Peru, who are always fun to watch. That's a good group. Venezuela will take on Peru in the first match on 15th of June.
Bolivia.
Argentina with Colombia, Paraguay, and guests Qatar.
Well, you could discount Qatar, but they just won the Asian Championship.
Improving, yeah.
Bolivia, you would imagine, would be the 4th team. The 3rd place team in those groups have an opportunity to advance to the knockout stage. And Peru, a lot of questions about them. They were one of the Cinderellas in the World Cup, but has Gareca been able to reload as much as Venezuela has? Nice from Suarez, but he thought Messi would be tighter. In for Juanpi. Chipping it along, Soteldo, if it holds, the Santos youngster, as Venezuela looking for another. Across the 6, but Hurtado's run a stride too late. Just about 2 minutes left of added time. And in Hurtado, you can see a player who carries the same body type as Rondon. Maybe someone for the future. And playing at Gimnasia, he's already played about a dozen games in Argentina. In for Messi. Sneaks it through. Benedetto tries the back heel, but a step too late. Here's Rincon. Final minute approaches. Gets rid of the pass for Martinez. Good cover, Kahneman. Some of those defenders a little long in the tooth. Kahneman's looked good off the bench.
Yeah.
Back for Messi. And again, final 30 seconds. Argentina looking for a bit of a coup de grace. Rincon into the circle, controlled by Hurtado. That game against Morocco is going to be in Tangier. One final sub about to check in if there is time. Cejas on the sideline. There will not be. The final whistle, in Venezuela with the victory, 3-1 against Argentina.
Predicted this would be a tight game, and it would be a challenge even with best player in the world in Argentina's strip. Venezuela come out full of pluck and full of pride, full of passion and full of dynamite ability as a team. Rafael Dudamel melded this team together, and danger, whoever they play. Tremendous goals from John Murillo and Rondon.
The final at the Wanda, Venezuela wins.